In today's news, Prince and Princess 2022 set to take center stage. The Valley Sound Lion and Leo clubs install new board. Premier Wheatley provides update to CARICOM on VI government reform. Rec Week 2023 set to return in Commonwealth Games Team. We have a recap. All this and so much more when 284 News returns.
Yo, everything good, Dad?
Aye. This thing got me one way that day.
What you mean?
Ever since I hook up with this thing, can't eat, I can't sleep. This is the first thing I touch it when I reach home.
What you really? Hey, this ain't like you, know.
Dad, this thing got me staying home, keeping out of trouble me.
Wow. What your name is?
Shit. I talking about my CCT life.
Don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Come to CCT today and sign up for CCT Live to access over 80 channels. CCT Live. Bring it home.
1 month free trial turn into 5. 5 months turn into, well, you know I hustle. I watching ball. I been watching football. Dad, Nickelodeon, Paw Patrol. I am hooked. Hook, I tell you.
Welcome everybody. It's Tuesday, July 12th, 2022. A terrific Tuesday to each and every one of you. I'm Ron Grant coming to you live and direct from Tortola in the Virgin Islands. We do thank you so much for joining us. Of course, beginning our newscast on the local scene, the Prince and Princess show will be the only pageantry competition to proceed as normal this year for the Emancipation celebrations, while all other competitions, including the Miss BVI pageant, will be coronations. Of course, we were present at the press conference, which of course held the VI Festival and Fairs Committee, and this was confirmed by members of that committee on a press briefing on Monday, July 11th. Executive Committee member Mrs. Luce Hodge-Smith made the disclosure stating, and I quote, that as soon to be crowned Miss BVI 2022 will be selected from one of last year's contestants.
We are not having our traditional pageant of Miss BVI this year, but we will be having a coronation, and that is scheduled for the 24th of July, and details will be coming forth with that information as it's still in the planning stage. And as you know, as we said earlier, there were some budget constraints, and festival is nothing without our Miss BVI pageant, our Prince and Princess. And recently we added our Mr. and Miss Junior BVI. So there will be a Prince and Princess show. That was a hard fight, but we are having a Prince and Princess show. The Miss BVI, as I mentioned, will be coronation. And it is justified in a sense because the person that will be crowned participated in the last Miss BVI pageant. So that person would have been judged, they would have been participating, they would have gone through all the segments. So it's not like we just picked any and anyone to be crowned Miss BVI 2022.
Mrs. Hodge-Smith also sought to explain why the Prince and Princess show got the nod over the Miss BVI pageant. She said a decision was made to have all the pageantry competitions done as coronations, but subsequently another decision was taken to proceed with the Prince and Princess show.
Well, to be politically correct, the decisions were made to have all the coronations done, but there was a decision taken to have the Prince and Princess show. The other thing was the Miss BVI pageant, not to say that they didn't have contestants. They did have contestants, but the time ran out. And to keep up the standard of Miss BVI, the decision was taken to coronate to whoever we decide to coronate, whether it's the first runner-up or the second runner-up. But the decision was taken. It is not something that we particularly like to have to get done, because as you know, I'm a former Miss BVI, and the Miss BVI pageant is dear to my heart.
Deputy Chair of the Festival and Fairs Committee, Mr. Birch Letsom, also provided more context to the decision. He said the community decided that they were going to be and support behind the Prince and Princess show, with the contributions ranging from monetary to human resources.
Initially, the call was for coronations across the board. I think, as we mentioned earlier, as we mentioned earlier as well, this is a community event, and with certain things happening within the community decided that the Prince and Princess show, they were gonna get behind a bit as well. So the Prince and Princess show, we went a different direction, but due to time, budgetary constraints as well, and just other logistics, it was the decision taken that we would do coronations.
Meanwhile, Chairman of the Festival and Fairs Committee, Mr. Dirk Walters, said that time and monetary constraints were not the only reason for deciding not to have the Miss BVI pageant this year. He said there were concerns raised by the subcommittee relating to the quality of the show had it proceeded with the limited time and monetary availability.
It's definitely not always, money is a major factor, but bear in mind, it's not just budgetary constraint, it's time constraint, is the sheer man/woman power to get these things done. And if you have say you may have a subcommittee, a specific subcommittee, and they may not feel that they are able to pull off the show at a certain standard or quality production within that scope of time, then, that's how it works.
After persevering through Hurricanes Irma and Marie in 2017, members of the scuba diving industry wanted to find a way to remind the outside world that the BVI was still here and still offering an amazing underwater experience. Now, back in August of 2009, Dive BVI, a founder member, hosted the first BVI Rec Week, offering scuba packages to guests, highlighting their wrecks, which were consistently voted in the Caribbean as the top 10 for decades. This was then expanded on that, and it soon became obvious that it was only possible to look, or impossible rather, to look at the underwater wrecks without also thinking about the maritime history of the British Virgin Islands. And so BVI Rec Week in December 2019 was born, offering curated events and dives to tie in with the rich tradition and, of course, offer participants a chance to join in the fun. The team say they are ready to go again, and it gets an amazing event off the ground, which is set for February of 12th to the 18th of 2023. Now, viewers, I recently sat down with Mr. Alton Bertie, BVI Rec Week Ambassador, and Kim Hewish, President of the BVI Scuba Organization, to discuss the upcoming week. Kim Hewish began by sharing some background and, of course, incorporating Virgin Islands history.
The BVI Scuba Organization is very small, so we really can't actually produce much in the way of events ourselves, and we realized this early on. So we're partners. We're partners with various other organizations and other entities in the BVI, from hotels to villas to guest houses, whatever, restaurants, bars. We're trying to curate an exciting series of events which really go back into the history of maritime history in the BVI. We started off with the Wreck of the Rhone, which is world famous, literally world famous, one of the best wrecks in the world. But you can't talk about the Rhone without talking about Salt Island, and you can't talk about Salt Island without talking about the Salt Islanders, and then you're talking about maritime history. So what we wanted to do was think, well, what would reflect that? So we're hoping to put on a ball set in Victorian times perhaps, so people can have some fun and think about the history of the Rhone and how she sank in 1867. So then moving on from that, you think about pirates. The history of the BVI is so rich and so varied, and it's all tied in with maritime. Nothing happened here without the sea.
Alton Bertie spoke about his role as an ambassador, as well as the importance of non-profit organizations and their role in marine industry.
Well, my role is basically to raise awareness, get it out there so that people know what's happening. As a part of my story, Kim randomly just one day messaged me and asked me, hey, do you want to learn to dive? And I was like, okay, yeah, sure, because I'm that type of person that just says yes. So I couldn't even swim. So I had to learn all of that and get into diving, and now I'm basically stuck in the sea doing a lot of work, marine conservation, marine science. So I want to help raise awareness so that those who want to do it can get into it, to let people know that this could be a career path We have a lot of different organizations like Sea Turtle Aquatics, which I do help out a lot with them, and they're certifying our young divers. We have young teenage divers that are rescue divers.
Beautiful.
A few of rescue divers, and a few of them even say they would consider the path of marine biologists, marine scientists. So it's just to let people know that yes, you could go down this path. The sea isn't just a nice place you could look at and take pictures, your selfies on Instagram. You could actually get in and make a difference.
Additionally, residents are encouraged to come out to the official launch event scheduled for July 27th.
Sure, that's right here in the heart of town at the sushi bar. Obviously fish, sushi, made sense. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to get people now involved, although the event doesn't happen until February, because we're really strongly, the impact that we want to make is on the non-profits that we work closely with. People like Beyond the Reef, people like CATS, the sailing program, people like Visar, of course, ARC, who Alton will tell you a little bit about shortly. The number of nonprofits here that need help to get everybody to understand how rich the maritime heritage is, and that there are actually career paths there, especially for our young people. So that's what the event, the opening event is for. So if you think you've got a way that you can help or participate or even curate one of the events, come on down and speak with us. We'll figure a way to make it work for you.
Now viewers, there are also a number of exciting events being planned to celebrate Rec Week, which incorporates the sister islands as well.
Right. Well, the whole idea, again, is going back to not being in one place. You know, we don't want it to be a Tortola event. So Hendo's is the first start. They've been with us from the beginning. They've got the pirate theme going. Nani Key is always doing the closeout party for us, and they do a fantastic local barbecue. So that's the place to get your fish and fungi on the Saturday night. In between that, as I mentioned earlier, we're trying to do the Rhone Ball. We do a meet and greet at the moorings. We want to go to, we've got Bitter End Yacht Club are going to be in for 2023. We haven't understood exactly what that's going to look like, but that's going to be an amazing event over at North Sound, Virgin Gorda. Cooper Island have always been supporters of ours, and again, that ties into the history. Cooper is barrel making. Barrels are part of maritime heritage and culture. The Tortola sloops took the salt from Salt Island, put it into the barrels that were made at Cooper Island, and the beef from Beef Island was salted down, and off they went across the Atlantic. You know, all of this is right at our fingertips. So Cooper Island are going to do something fun. We've got other local spots that are you know, coming in, but there's room for more. We want this to be something that the whole of the BVI looks forward to every year. And if you've got something that you think that might tie in with this theme, please get in touch. Come and see us. We'll be there on Wednesday, the 27th, from 5 p.m. at the sushi bar. So come on down and talk to us.
In order to view the entire interview, visit all our 284 media platforms. Up next, Commonwealth Games Team recap, and Valley Sound Lion and Leo Club install new board, as well as the Premier of the Virgin Islands, the Honorable Dr. Natalia Wheatley, provides an update to CARICOM on the VI government reform. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break.
You value traditions. You value music. You value education. Family.
I love you.
Service.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Love. Life. At Popular, we're committed to you and everything our community values. For the things you value the most, count on us. Popular.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
Hello?
Wait, you had a long time. Yeah? You don't say you were sick? What happened to all wedding rehearsal?
No, babe. I'm actually watching the news right now. Take a listen.
Topping our newscast today, UFO seen around Tortola Pier Park.
And District 3 residents outraged over
no water supply. They simply cannot bathe. These and more stories when 284 News returns.
All right, babe, just get some rest, take 2 Advil, and I'll see you later. Bye.
Okay, honey, I see you later. I love you.
It's clear to see that Coconut Lounge is a place to be, the coolest cocktail lounge in the British Virgin Islands. A lounge like no other, with welcoming, professional service, and a breathtaking ambiance. Not forgetting a diverse selection of wines, beers, and signature cocktails. Cozy, comfortable, contemporary. Coconut Lounge at Tortola Pier Park. Visit us today. Viewers, welcome back and thank you so much for sticking with us. Premier and Minister of Finance, Dr. the Honorable Natalia D. Wheatley, has updated Caribbean leaders on the progress of government reform at the 43rd meeting of the Conference of the Heads of Government of the Caribbean Community, also known as CARICOM, in Suriname from July 3rd to the 5th. Now, Premier Wheatley told the regional meeting of presidents, prime ministers, premiers, and ministers, and I quote, "Government reforms are progressing well. Previously initiated reforms have been integrated into our reform program, mutually agreed with the United Kingdom." The Premier also commented to keeping CARICOM updated on the progress of implementing reforms led by the Government of National Unity, for which he leads. Additionally, he thanked CARICOM for their steadfast support and offers for assistance during the territory's recently political turbulence and pledged the British Virgin Islands full support to CARICOM as the bloc takes steps to address the response to various regional and international challenges. He said, "The British Virgin Islands is a proud associate member of CARICOM and will remain fully engaged as we tackle challenges together as a region." Premier Wheatley was joined by Assistant Secretary for External Affairs, Ms. Dwynell Davis, and Special Envoy to the Premier, Mr. Benito Wheatley. CARICOM is a bloc of countries and territories, as we all know, in the Caribbean region that include Antigua and Barbuda, Bahamas, Belize, Dominica, Grenada, Guyana, Haiti, Jamaica, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Suriname, Trinidad and Tobago, Anguilla, Bermuda, the British Virgin Islands, Cayman Islands, Montserrat, and the Turks and Caicos Islands. Now, Suriname currently holds the chairmanship of the CARICOM under the leadership of His Excellency President Sakunte. In addition to that, viewers, we head over to sports. For the first time in the history of the Commonwealth Games, the British Virgin Islands will have 2 sets of twins representing the territory following the announcement of a 19-member team that will be traveling to Birmingham. They are Trivia Gums, Shot Put, and Tinel Gums, Hammer Throw, Digimonte, Discus, and Dimon Gums, Discus and Shot Put as well, who are part of the track and team field. Now, there are 7 other persons representing the territory in track and field, including Kyron McMaster, 400-meter hurdles, Eldred Henry Shot Put, Recoy Brathwaite 100-meter, Beyonce DeFries 200-meter, Dia Erickson 100-meter hurdles, Adriano Gums 400-meter, and Ariana Hyde, the Happleton. In addition to that, the BVI will also be representing in basketball for the 3x3 for the first time within the Commonwealth Games history. Now, that team will include Shaquila Foy, Michaela Pickering, Patrice Smith, and Joy Victor. Squash will also be represented by the territory with Joe Chapman, singles men doubles, and Luca Reach, singles men doubles. The final discipline, which will have representation from the BVI, is cycling, and it is the second team to be selected from the BVI in the history of the Commonwealth Games, with the first dating back to 2006. The cycling team includes Darryl Christopher Jr., in addition to that, Sam Talbot. In addition to that, the president of the BVI Commonwealth Games Association, Mr. Ephraim Penn, reflected on the growth of sports in the territory of the Virgin Islands over the past 12 years. He said to carry a team of 19 is a huge accomplishment for sports in the BVI, considering, of course, that in 2010, the BVI only had a team of 2 representing the Commonwealth Games.
Today is a special day as we journey towards Birmingham. I remember I was looking back and reflecting in 2010, we had 2 athletes. And now in 2022, we have 19. It shows, first of all, the dedication of our sports persons to continue to develop and to increase. I think we have 4 sports, and there was a possibility we could have easily had 5. We have athletics, cycling, squash, basketball, and the swimmer, because of, they again echoing what Mr. Castro said, because of injury, she's not going to be there. I must, at this point, recognize Chantel Malone, who I said earlier is injured and wouldn't be at the games. So I'm sure she is looking forward to this, and we hold her in her prayers, and we know that Chantel had the determination to come back.
Penn also spoke about the new inclusion of women's 3x3 basketball into the games and highlighted the return of cycling after a 16-year absence.
I would just like to speak about the 3x3 basketball team, ladies basketball team that's going to be going for the first time. And also, I think for the second time, I was reminded today, we're going to have cyclists. We had cyclists in 2006. And now we have cyclists again. So, but the ladies basketball team is something that I have fun attachment to, because we applied for funding for the program. We were successful, and then we were invited to Commonwealth. I said, wow, this is a big step to me. Just go from here to there. So we worked diligently to get them to go to the Caribbean Games, to get their feet wet, so to speak. The ladies competed well. They got the experience. They got the exposure. Now it's time to take it to another level. And we just like to encourage not only the basketball people, but the younger athletes that will be competing at this level for the first time.
Meanwhile, Minister for Sports, the Honorable Cherie B. De Castro, congratulated the athletes and encouraged them to remain focused on their athletic goals.
I would like to take this opportunity to extend best wishes to the delegation who will be representing the territory at the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham. Of course, we want to ensure you that you know that we are 100% behind of you. To our 19 athlete delegation, I want to encourage you that as you go with God, and while there may be many distractions, we want to encourage you to disassociate yourselves from them as much as possible and dedicate your full energy, your full determination, and your full motivation to your events. It would be remiss of me if I didn't take this opportunity also to recognize your continued accomplishments throughout the year. Truly, we know that it takes a lot of sacrifices to get to this point, and so I want to personally acknowledge the athletes present today for your continued representation of these Virgin Islands.
Now, viewers, Birmingham 2022 will be the 22nd edition of the Games and the third time to be staged in England, following London 1934 and Manchester in 2002. It will be the largest multi-sports competition to be held in England in 10 years, with a global broadcast audience of some 1 billion. Some 72 nations and territories will be represented at the Birmingham 2022 Commonwealth Games, with around 6,500 athletes and team officials. The Games are set to commence from July 28 to August 8, 2022. Viewers, when we return, Valley Sound Lion and Leo Club install new board. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break.
There's a reason you get up on a morning. A reason you pick yourself up, start the day. Maybe it's sheer grit. Maybe it's your ethics. Maybe it's because you know people like you are waiting for people just like you. We all have our reasons, and for Republic Bank, that reason is you. Every little thing, every big thing. It's all about making a difference in your life. Because after 182 years, if it's one thing we're sure about, is that the difference is you. We're here to help.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
The beautiful Virgin Islands, or nature's little secret as some prefer, where the weather stays warm and the drinks stay cold, where men in wigs get their lawyer bills paid by governments and governments lose planes, where walls are built and prisoners escape. You vacation where we suffer. BVI Love.
Is business slow? Cash flow down? Hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media@cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works. Viewers, welcome back. Panning over to Virgin Gorda, it was a night of celebrations as the Valley Sound Lion Club and Leo Club welcomed its new board of directors for the 2022-2023 Lionistic year. The boards were sworn in by the club's joint annual installation dinner ceremony held at the Top of the Bats restaurant and bar on Sunday, 26 June 2022. Lion Carvin Malone, PMJF, served as installation officer and installed Lion Kimberly George and Leo Alona Williams respectively as president of each club, along with their respective executive boards. The other members of the Valley Sound Lions Club board are Hakim Creaky, vice president, membership chairperson Lori John Stevens, immediate past president, secretary Charlene Smith, treasurer Sashana Duhimi, that's Tamara Lindy, Tail Twister, Colery George, MJF, Service Chairperson, Emily Ann Grant Matthias, Marketing and Communications Chairperson, Shanique Creaky, LCIF Coordinator, Novell Young, Director, Ingrid Waters, Director, Jevi Edwards, Director, Natasha Marshall, Director. The remaining members of the Valley Sound Leo Club Board are Tejon Bishop, Vice President, Nikira St. Clair, Secretary, Kezia Penn, Treasurer, Yebel Samuel, Timer, Jacoy Baptiste, Tail Twister. Additionally, and with great pleasure, the Valley Sound Lions Club say they have inducted 2 new members, Lions Chantal Pont and Sean Gifford. President Kimberly was inducted as a member of the Valley Sound Lions Club in June of 2013. She has served on the executive board of the club as membership director and secretary. She enjoys working all Lions International global causes, which include, of course, childhood cancer, hunger, diabetes, vision, and the environment. But also she enjoys working on initiatives that involve the youth and seniors specifically. Now, on her agenda for the upcoming year, she mentioned that's President Kimberly. She intends to work with the club to educate, encourage persons in the community on all global causes and initiatives based on the needs of the community. Viewers, that's all the time we have. We want to thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure, of course, to tune in tomorrow for your daily dose of local, regional, and international content. We are 284 News, your source for honest and impartial news right here on 284 Media in the Virgin Islands. I'm Ron Grant. Do have a beautiful rest of the day. Thank you for joining us. Happy Tuesday. Bye-bye.
You value traditions. Today, you value music. You value education. Family.
I love you.
Service.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Love.